and welcome. In this demonstration, we will cover Descope and Traceable integration to prevent digital fraud. Descope is a comprehensive authentication and user management platform which supports identity orchestration with many third-party connectors. As you can see, these are the Descope connectors connecting with systems like AWS Recognition, S3, Datadog, generic HTTP connectors, and many more. To configure a traceable connector, you can provide a name, description, and secret, which you can find from your traceable settings page. Here we have already integrated with Traceable using the secret key from our traceable system, and we are ready to go look at the fraud prevention use case. Let's jump into the flows. Flows is a core concept in Descope which defines a user journey and lets you orchestrate different aspects of the user journey. In this particular flow, we have a welcome screen where the user can log in using email and OTP over email or with passkeys. Once the user submits the email, we check with the traceable system the reputation of the email. If the reputation is bad or the risk score is greater than 0.85, which can be checked with this condition, we show the user a block screen and block the user. If not, we verify the user with an OTP and continue ahead. There's another scenario where if this is a revisiting user or an existing user, we also want to check whether they are a medium risk. And if they are a medium risk, we actually can enable a multi-factor auth. In this case, we have used passkeys or biometric as our multi-factor auth system. This is a very typical authentication flow and can be designed within minutes to embed in any application. Let's see the traceable console and see different users and their reputation. In this demo, we have two users that we're going to showcase. One is a compromised user 1, where they are classified as fraudulent. The second user is Descope, which is also classified as fraudulent. But the difference is one is a high risk, the other is a medium risk. In addition, Traceable does an amazing job of figuring out where the users logged in from, uses the different locations to see if these could be fraudulent activities. And many other different factors have been used to assess whether these users are fraudulent or not, or if there is some fraudulent activity in these users' account or not. So the risk that we see here for compromised user 1 as the high risk, or at Descope as the medium risk, this is what is used in our flow to decide whether we're going to block the user or we are going to take the user through the multi-factor authentication. Let's see this in action. The application we are using here is a sample t-shirt store application, which has a login screen. If you go to the login screen, you can log in using the email. So let's first look at this particular email, which is r@Descope. When the user tries to log in with this email address, the flow detects that this is risky email, which is, it has some fraudulent activity which has been detected by traceable system. As you can see, the first step is to authenticate the user with OTP. The user is not directly blocked because the reputation is not extremely bad or not greater than 0.85 as we saw on the screen earlier. So after logging in, there was another check as we looked in the flow, and the second check said that the reputation is at medium risk and there was suspicious activity detected. So this screen is encouraging the user to re-authenticate with a biometric second factor authentication. And if that passes, we will log in the user. If that fails, we will fail the user. As you can see, the second factor prompt with biometric, I use my Touch ID and I'm logged in successfully right here. This is an example where if a high-risk account is detected, you can enforce a multi-factor auth very easily using Descope authentication platform and the risk detected by Traceable. Let's log out. And this time, let's try to log in with a compromised user where the risk score is actually very high. And it's higher than 0.85, which is what we set as the limit. And we should block the user, even not try the first factor or even not try the login. So in this scenarios, as soon as the user puts in the email, we see that account compromised. Looks like your account has been blocked and contact support. So two use cases that we have demonstrated here is that we can either block the user completely from any authentication, or we can actually do a second factor auth using biometrics. Either one of these use cases can be enabled very easily with this integration between Traceable and Descope. Thank you.